From the tents of Mamre, Abraham arose, a call to arms for a brother's woes. When Lot was taken and darkness fell, a promise stirred in Abraham, a story to tell. With faith in God, he rallied the men, a force of courage, just 310. Against the kings, he stood so tall, Abraham's army, ready to give it all. Marching in the name of the Lord, with shield and sword, his strength restored. Abraham's army, bold and free, fighting for justice, for victory. No fear of numbers, no fear of might, for God of heaven was their guiding light. From the hills to battle, they charged as one, trusting in the promise of the Holy One. No warrior's fame, no boastful cry, just faith in God who would not deny. In the silence of night, they swept the land, Abraham's army, by God's own hand. Marching in the name of the Lord, with shield and sword, his strength restored. Abraham's army, bold and free, fighting for justice, for victory. Victory. Though the enemy rose like waves of a storm, Abraham's faith was steadfast, his heart was warm. For the God who calls is the God who saves, breaking the chains, lifting the brave. When battles rise and wars surround, remember Abraham and hold your ground. For God will fight, he'll lead the way, just trust in him, come what may. Marching in the name of the Lord, with shield and sword, his strength restored. Abraham's army, bold and free, fighting for justice, for victory. When the dawn had broken, the battle done, a brother freed and the war was won. But Abraham knelt, gave God the praise, for victory belongs to the Ancient of Days. With open hands and a humble heart, Abraham knew from God he'd not depart. An army strong, but faith was stronger. Abraham's trust would last much longer. Marching in the name of the Lord, with shield and sword, his strength restored. Abraham's army, bold and free, fighting for justice, for victory. So when you're faced with trials and strife, when battles rage in your very life, remember Abraham, remember his call. Trust in the Lord, give him your all. For faith is the sword, and God is the shield. To every struggle, to every field, march in his name, stand in his grace. Abraham's army, seeking God's face.